right, what is good, peeps? What is good? We're at the Bean in Chicago, and I'm doing a quick video on my thoughts on masculinity. So, don't want to get, obviously, people have their own thoughts on this and whatnot, but these are my thoughts, Mark's thoughts, and what I think it is. And I want to hit 3 points in this video to kind of like get an idea of what it is I'm talking about. So there's 3 points I want to hit. First point is, what exactly do I mean when I'm talking about masculinity? What exactly am I talking about? Second point is, how can you heal that and, acknowledge it and essentially heal it? And this is just from my experience, so don't take this for 100% word, 110% my word. I'm still learning, I'm still working on it. I'm not 100% perfect, but now I acknowledge it. So that's that. And then the third point I want to talk about is why it's important in game, especially day game, night game, any type of game that you want to do, why it's important to acknowledge this masculine-like energy. So anyways, the first point, what exactly is it? In my humble opinion, and what I think it is. And I think what it means to be masculine, this does not necessarily mean that masculine energy has to be only for men. It can be for females too, both genders. They both have masculine and feminine energy. But anyways, I think masculine energy is being able to be direct and kind of just going and making decisions, going from A to B, almost logical. Almost logical, you have this sense of like, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm getting at, I'm gonna go get it. And it's kind of like a very logical approach. Unlike feminine energy, where, you think of it as a lot of energy based, a lot of just being more energetic and emotional and more creative compared to like masculine type of energy. So that's what I think it means to be masculine, to be able to lead, be able to show your desires, your intent to a woman. Some men can't do that. I had that big issue for a long time, and I'm just barely learning it myself. So obviously I'm no expert at all, but here are my thoughts. These are just my thoughts, okay? So I'm not expert, I'm just kind of sharing what I'm experiencing and what I noticed so far from kind of changing my mindset. And I'll talk about it later in point 3. So that's what my thoughts are on what I think masculinity is. And the next point 2, what I want to hammer is, how can I heal that? How can I heal that? What if I'm facing that? What if I'm suppressing my masculine energy, which I did and I can share? And how can I fix that, And here's the thing. I've been doing a lot of approaches before I even knew what game was. So in high school, I would do some game without even realizing what game was. I just kind of like, I'm going to go talk to a chick. And so naturally, I went into this kind of like emotional kind of state. I didn't think of it as very logical. I just kind of was like, I'm just going to go out and about. And I just did that, I didn't think of game or social skills or whatnot. I just kind of like, okay, I'm just going to mess around with it. Until I went down the rabbit hole of YouTube and found about day game, night game, social skills, RSD, all this stuff. And then I started getting very technical in my game, trying to get very technical in my approaches. And I started being very technical, more than kind of being, showing a little bit of my masculine side, and what I mean by masculine side, I see it as accepting your masculine energy, your desire for women. And I was suppressing that a lot in my approaches. So because I was suppressing my own desire for women, then my intent in a subconscious level was not very clear to women. They were like, and the thing is, I was learning techniques on top of techniques, how to do approaches, how to talk to women, different little techniques. The thing is, I was doing it so much that it almost felt like my kind of game was very technique based, and I was trying to do all these little tricks, and not tricks, but just like it was almost genuine, but like I was suppressing like my desire technically. And because I was doing that, well, some women are like, okay, what exactly are you trying to do? If you're not showing your desire fully and owning it, then what are you trying to do? What the hell? Like, you know what I mean? And I didn't know that because I wasn't even aware of that. But I've been talking, I kind of have like almost like a mentor for this kind of stuff. And he told me a bit about intent and desire and being able to own your masculine energy, because that's what a man should do, you know? You shouldn't suppress it. And I've been suppressing it because the more I was thinking about it, it was probably because the way I was raised, the way I grew up, and my role models as a man, or my role models for men was seen as a negative thing, you know? It's negative to be masculine because they're abusive, they're physical, they're dangerous, they're leading in the wrong direction, they're just bad, you know? And I didn't like that. And I didn't know that was affecting me at a subconscious level. So you see, I naturally decided to suppress this kind of energy. And naturally, I want to suppress any desire I had for women. Unless, obviously, things led to one thing to another. Because I've had situations where there was no sexual tension with the women. And then by the time we got to my place, then it was super easy. But before that, there was nothing. There was no, like, progression to it. Because I was suppressing it until I led all the way using a technique-based, which is not very good to rely on. You want to be able to hook it in an emotional way that's genuine, you know? And if you can't even show your desire, it's going to be very hard. And I just found this out like 2 weeks ago, and it just blows my mind. Like, wow, was this like literally the missing piece of my puzzle? And to heal it, really, you just want to acknowledge it and think about, what do I think of masculine energy? When you think of masculine, what do you think of masculine? When you think of a man, the man that you want to be, what traits does he have? Does a man show his desire for women? Can you see that? Can you see how he acts? Can you see what he does? Can you picture that? Do you see yourself with those traits? And kind of do like a deep dive analysis on yourself and see if you actually had that. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm working on. And I'm not, you know, this is my way of doing it. You know, I'm not like the best at this stuff, you know? I'm not like a crazy, I'm just messing around with it, and I'm just sharing my experience with you guys, what I am experiencing myself. And I'm excited to share this stuff, you know? It's like really eye-opening for me. So yeah, and this leads me perfectly to my points of three. My points of three, why is owning your masculine energy important for day game, night game, any type of game, whatever you want to call it? When you go talk to women or whatnot, talk to people, talk to anyone, why is it important to acknowledge your type of energy that you have? Because you can be a guy and have more feminine energy than masculine energy. And maybe that's what I had, because I felt like it was very acceptable to have kind of that feminine energy more than trying to be very masculine, because I had a bad representation of what a man should be. You know, I always think bad, abusive, dangerous, powerful, evil. Like, I had bad associations with it. So now I'm just trying to unprogram myself, like a damn programming thing. I'm trying to unprogram myself and then program myself to actually utilize this kind of energy to my benefit, and in terms of game, and in terms of life, or whatever you want to call it, business, whatnot. Why is it important? Like I said, a ton of my approaches that I've done were very technique-based. And sure, it worked to a certain point where I was able to lead and do all these things, which showed some masculine traits, but I wasn't fully owning my desire as a man for a woman. I wasn't fully owning it. So it was, in my subconscious communication, it was not being seen by women at a subconscious level. You know what I mean? So I did not know that until I realized that and watched some videos, did some deep diving, checked it out. I'm like, damn, this is crazy stuff. Like, how did I not know about this? So recently, I kind of took like a paradigm shift where I'm like, wow, is this really what it is? If I can own my desire, my masculine self, and just marinate in desire that for women. It's different from like needing, where you're like, I need women, I need this, I need that. But when you desire it, you don't really need it. You're like, yeah, I desire it. I don't need it, but I desire it, you know? So it's a kind of different frame of where you're going about desire and need. And And because now I'm appreciating my masculine sexuality, then naturally I'm starting to appreciate feminine sexuality and energy. And so when I go up and do my approaches with this new mindset, I acknowledge women who either show it pretty obviously, you can tell, if a woman's comfortable in her feminine side, she doesn't have like a short skirt, all that, a top, really obvious. But some women don't, they're a little not fully tapped into their feminine side. But they might show it in very subtle ways. And I appreciate that. And when you appreciate a woman's feminine side coming from a masculine desire of appreciating feminine, it's like a contrast, polarity, It's just, you very much appreciate and you feel the energy and you want to connect more than trying to be very technique based and forget the emotional side. You're just trying to be very technique based. It doesn't feel right, or it only works to a certain extent, but you can't keep going. And I've been kind of applying this, and I'm in a new mindset, new paradigm shift, new frame, where even if the approaches don't go well, I'm appreciating and accepting my desire as a man. I'm owning it. I'm not pushing away my desire. I'm actually sitting in it now. I'm like, literally, the best word to say is marinating in it, instead of just being like, no, that's bad, that's evil. No, I'm actually sitting with it. And that's important when it comes to game, any kind of game you want to do. Day game, night game, it's important that you do that. It's essential, and make sure you keep that on your radar. If you guys are doing this, keep that on your radar, the difference between masculine, feminine energy. There's a channel actually where I learn more about this that maybe I can drop in the link in the bio, but it's great content that he had, and it made me realize, wow, this is a huge piece that I've been neglecting for the longest time of my life. And I'm still healing from it. I'm not fully tapped into it, but this is just my experience so far and where I'm at in game and in social skills. And there's so many videos I want to talk about, so many different ideas, but take it one step at a time, because it's another topic idea. Keep it sustainable, whatever it is you want to do. For me, I'm going out 3 times a week. Keep it sustainable. I'm not going to say, I'm going to go out 6 times a week. And then that's super high up, Start where sustainable, where you can actually do it consistently, Because 6 days is probably a lot, unless you could do it if you feel that confident. But I recommend lowering it a little so it can be manageable. But that's for another topic, another video. So anyways, I want to close this out. I don't want to go too long. This video is already over 10 minutes. So if you like this content, let me know what you think. Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe if you want. And if you want to see more of this stuff of me just talking about my ideas and whatnot, I'm at the Bean, super nice out. It's Chicago weather, So let me know what you guys want to hear. I have other topics I'm going to post about. And yeah, that's the end of this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.